Well, hello and welcome to another video from Lanzarote Information, and we're going to be doing something a bit different today. We're going to be doing the back streets of Puerto del Carmen because there are loads and loads of small accommodation complexes just like this one called Los Delfines in these back streets, and I figured that many people watching this channel will be staying in these kind of places, so the idea is to show you a few of them, but more importantly show you the walk down onto the strip from them, have a little walk along the strip, and then we'll loop up further down and pick up another load of accommodation places on our way climbing back up to where we started. So there we go, that's the plan. Let's see how it goes, and I'll stop and film anything I think is interesting along the way. Have another small one here, Apartamentos Islas de los Lobos. Typical of the kind of places I'm thinking, very good value. For many years was the, well still is really, the bedrock of tourism in Puerto del Carmen. And there are absolutely loads of them in these back streets, so we're running directly down towards the strip now so you can orient yourselves. Of course no video of Puerto del Carmen would be complete without spotting one of the Cubiton vans delivering ice to the bars and restaurants here. And in this crossroad now, which is called Calle Tinguaton, we have another. This is one of the larger of the type of apart hotels I was talking about. This is Atlantis Las Lomas. And here's Bahia Contiki. Many of you who know Puerto del Carmen will recognise instantly where I am, because this is the appropriately named Cardiac Hill. And on the left here we've got Apartamentos Morania, which I imagine has cracking views from the pool terrace up there. Now this is a super steep hill. It's almost as hard to walk down as it is to walk up, and it's absolutely lethal when it's slippery. So if you are staying in one of the apartments I've walked past, there are better ways to get up to them. There are gentler streets than this particular one. And something you could do is walk along to the Soco shopping centre and use their elevator to go up a couple of floors and then walk out the back of the car park, and it will take the initial hit of the climb away for you. Now, the correct name for Cardiac Hill, by the way, is Calle Guanape. And I'll just spin round so you can see the entrance to it, where it starts. For those walking, it's a one-way street, so traffic only comes down it. So what we'll do is cross over here. Oh no, we'll go on a little bit on this side, I think, rather than stopping all the traffic just for me to wander across with my camera. I've crossed over now because all the setup for Ironman Lanzarote 2025 is being done, and it looks like the finish line is going to be in a different place, actually on the beach rather than up on the Avenida, because the grandstands are in place on the beach. I'll have to look into that and find out exactly what's going on. Because that's a fairly major change to previous years, where Ironman has always started and finished here on the strip itself. So I'll keep you posted on that. Stay tuned, I'll let you know. Looks like there's a new Indian restaurant opened upstairs there called Tarana. In fact, this whole row smells of curry. So we have quite a few Indian restaurants here now. Weather's not that good here today. It's certainly better. It was certainly better when I left Aria earlier. We had lovely blue skies, no clouds at all, but there's quite a bit of cloud about today on the island in Puerto del Carmen. Despite the amount of overcast, the beach is relatively busy. These chains are adorned with those horrible cheap red plastic love locks, which I detest. Apologies if you put one up there, but they just look awful and they fade very, very quickly. Well, I'm coming up for the main event now. For me anyway, it was to see for the first time in person the statue of my friend Kenneth. There he is, dishing out a medal on the Ironman start-finish line. Would you mind just aiming it towards me and trying to get him and I in it?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. It's shooting video at the moment, so...
Right, okay.
Oh, that's brilliant. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Super chuffed with that. I found a very nice gentleman on holiday who was happy to shoot some video of me standing by Kenneth's statue. So it's interesting, as I was coming over the top into Puerto del Carmen, Fuerteventura was really, really clear, and it is, so it's sort of relatively clear over that way, but there are some dark clouds around here. Not enough to stop a lot of people enjoying a dip in the Atlantic. So I'm not going to go too far. I'm going to go as far as Calle Anzuelo. We'll cut up the hill there to have a look at the accommodation places at the top of there, and then we'll hang a left onto Calle Princesa Teguise. Very famous American Indian cafe there. We have a lot of Spanish, as you probably heard, we have a lot of Spanish tourists on the island at the moment. A lot came for Easter and a lot have come in the kind of week and a bit since Easter to enjoy the island. A good time of year for them to come after a winter on the peninsula, just to get a bit of R&R and some sunshine in the Canaries. We're right at the end of April, beginning of May, and I'd say it's a very good time to come on holiday to Puerto del Carmen. It's just a kind of nice vibe here. It feels chilled and relaxed. Not as frenetic as it can be when there are hordes of people and families here with excitable kids. So yeah, if you want a chilled holiday this time of year, it's probably a fairly good shout. We've reached the bottom of Calle Anzuelo now, and the mark for it is the Dos Mil cafeteria there, which is a cracking place. This is a hill, but it's nothing like as steep as Calle Cardiac Hill, which is why I chose to come down Cardiac Hill and up this one very sensibly. So I worked my way up here, and we'll have a look at what accommodation is up this street. Interesting to see yet another Indian restaurant there, Masala Fusion. And right across the road there you've got Nico's, which has been there for donkey's years. More traditional kind of Canarian style food. On the left here we've got one of those apart hotels, Parque Tropical. And up here we've got a very popular accommodation called Cinco Plazas. And Spinnaker's again been here for donkey's years, well-known bar restaurant. There's the entrance to Cinco Plazas. They have a supermarket on site, quite a big apart hotel complex. This one is called Plaza Azul. Remember when Plaza Azul was in private ownership? Well, it still is in private ownership, but when it was all individual apartments a few years ago, many years ago actually. And then a company eventually took it over and converted it back into a tourist complex. And on the right you've got Plaza Palmeras. We've stayed there shortly after it was refurbished. Nice refurbishment done there. Good pool, reasonable sized apartments. Now this one is Aqua Suites. I actually worked there a few years ago. I did their marketing and PR in a previous guise for the property. They really are suites, nice spacious rooms, big swimming pool, big jacuzzi in the middle. And we've sort of reached the top of the hill, and I'm going to hang a left in a minute because as I say, I need to throw a loop. But just to give you a feel for it, the walk up from the strip to here, which is the topmost accommodation on Calle Anzuelo, took me just under 10 minutes. I was going at a pace, so you know, if you allow 15, it really is not that bad, and it's not that steep coming up this way. If you carry on straight now, you get to the inner ring road, and that's where all the buses run. So you just see a bus at the top there on the roundabout to the airport and places like that. They do go along the strip as well, but a lot of the main bus routes go along there. One just before we turn off is Apartamentos Tisalaya. I'll try that again. Apartamentos Tisalaya. And we are now going to hang a left into Princesa Teguise. which is one of the main kind of arteries through this part of Puerto del Carmen. But as you can see, it starts off very narrow. So I've unexpectedly spotted a classic car. No, not the S-Class Merc, but this beautiful old Ford. Just parked in the street. I actually know the car. I've seen it around on various events on the island. I could be wrong, but I think it's a Model Y. No doubt an expert will be watching this and correct me. But it's in beautiful condition. What a lovely, lovely thing. So there's a digger working on a big plot of land here, presumably some kind of new build going on. Rather oddly, there's a British registered van there. Not something you see on the island very often. There are some larger villas along this section, a lot of which have the Vivienda Vacacional signs on them. So they're obviously rented out for holidays. Aha, and here's the answer to that question. It's a new build of 21 duplexes with private swimming pools, a garage, 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. It's going to be called Residencial Soco. So I wonder if it's the same people who own the Soco shopping centre who own this piece of land. So very early stages yet, but quite excited to see new build stuff going up here in Puerto del Carmen. I'll just hover on those for anyone interested. It looks like those QR codes take you to the website, presumably of the construction company, but you can also do a virtual tour type A and type B. Okay, we're going to carry on along Princesa Teguise. That roundabout's been beautifully planted with grass and big cactuses and flowers on it. I quite like that. We're actually at the back here of Club Las Calas, which is a beautifully kept complex that's had quite a big refurbishment in the last couple of years. Don't really get a good view of it from here, but very popular place. Originally, well, still is a timeshare place. A lot of people have owned there for many, many years. But you can also just rent an apartment for a week or two there. And then across the road from Club Las Calas, we've got one which everyone always struggles to pronounce. But it's actually pronounced Bitácora. So it's Bitácora Club Lanzarote, or Lanzarote Club, I guess. One I've never heard of before, Apartamentos Las Caracolas. So the snails, the apartment of the snails. And finally we have Apartamentos Guinate Club with their Time to Smile logo on them. And by some miracle, because I planned this all in my head and just tried to envisage where I was going to come out, I have actually come out pretty much exactly where my car is after the little loop that we've done. And that's right by the HG Hotel here. So I've done my loop now down Cardiac Hill, along the strip, up Calle Anzuelo and along Princesa Teguise. Quite a pleasant walk. It's only been just under 4 kilometres, so it's not a significantly tough one to do. Would be a good morning walk for you if you're on holiday here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Catch up with you soon. Bye for now.